So my take on Vegas. Are you going to start with the bag this
I
early?
tried very gently not to make a lot of noise, but
You know, he drinks out of a bag. I don't know what that's all about. Is it from your childhood where you were not allowed to bring certain things? What is it?
It makes me feel more secret.
But you're drinking wine.
Well, I'm not sure we can show what wine I'm
Sure you
drinking.
can.
No, I don't think we can. I just don't want to take a chance, so I put it in a bag.
Maybe you should just take the label off so that every time I speak, you don't crunch the bag.
I didn't think of that once.
Great story. I don't know who it happened to, but it's a story. Before we get into Vegas, so there was an actor with a very extensive wine collection. Lived in Malibu, and there was a big fire coming. So he didn't know what to do about it, and so somebody said, "Look, get all," and he had a lot of expensive bottles of wine. Take all your bottles of wine and throw them in the swimming pool. So he did it. Fires came and went. His house didn't get affected. He goes to the pool to see where his wine is, and all the labels are floating on the water. He had no idea what wine was what.
Imagine that.
So anyway,
$100,000 bottles, you wouldn't know which one.
Yeah, I don't know who it happened to.
I
but
thought
just
you were going to bring up the actor, and you could bring it up in a certain way that he put a tape in for everyone to look during a rehearsal. And
I am not telling that story.
Well, not in detail. But
No, I'm not going to tell that.
I don't even know that story.
I'll tell you. No, it's
okay,
too.
I
it's
thought,
too graphic, and it's too whatever.
Without being graphic.
It's too graphic.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Vegas.
You're gonna want to hear that
Back to Vegas. So I'm not a big Vegas guy. I don't get the attraction. I mean, I get the attraction, but I don't like to gamble. I don't like to give my money away. I'm not a big show guy. I find Vegas. I find it actually kind of sad. I know that a lot of people there are seeking their fortune. I find it very transient. I find it's incredibly fake. It was fun when I was young, but now that I'm a little bit older, a lot older, much older, I just don't enjoy it because I'm in bed 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30. Last night I went to bed. Last night I slept like a baby. By the way, I have a sleeping problem, but last night I thought I had food poisoning. Oh my God! I woke up like I lied down, laid down.
I think I lied down.
I lied down.
I went to bed.
That's even better.
I went to bed, and I'm laying there, and I'm going, wow, I had a stomach ache. I haven't had a stomach ache in 40 years.
But you going to bed is like you have a ritual. You have a robe, and you do.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I have to do. No, I always wear. If I'm home, I'm wearing a robe. No matter what time of day it is, I'm in my robe, a la Hugh Hefner. That's how I live my life with clothing underneath, usually pajamas, maybe just a pair of boxer shorts. Anyway,
you were laying down.
So I'm laying in bed, and I had a stomach ache, and I got up. I got up and I tried to burp, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh, that's right.
And
let's have dinner after.
And so then I went, am I going to have to vomit?
Oh,
So I started sweating, and usually when I sweat, I've had food poisoning maybe 10 times in my life. I said, oh God, I have food poisoning. Yeah. So I go in the bathroom, and I go, okay, do I have to puke or poop? This is an exciting story, and we'll get off it in a second. So I sat down and pooped.
With a combo?
And I felt, and I felt a tiny bit better, and then I got up and went, oh God, I'm still sick. So I laid on the floor, and it was cold, and I was laying like this in the fetal position, and I went, and I let out this big burp, and I went, oh, okay. I went to bed. Anyway, that was my night, and I slept for about 10 hours, which was wonderful. Anyway, where was I? I was off Vegas talking about something else.
You were on the
floor
sleeping. Burping, but no,
I was talking about sleeping. Vegas.
You said something about you felt it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yes, I just feel sad. There's nothing for me. Yeah. Yes, the lounge acts. I'm a little all over the place tonight. I don't know why. I got a lot of sleep, so I got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a story. This is a Vegas-esque story.
I love sad stories.
I'm doing a lot of talking in this segment. I'm sorry. So a buddy of mine calls me, and he says, "Come on, the three of us, another guy, we're going to go to the Gardena."
Oh.
And I go, "For what?" He says, "Well, there's a bunch of showgirls that I know there." I'm like, all right, so we go to Gardena, and we go into this room, the showroom, and it looks like Caesar's Palace, but like beat to crap. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
This is the card club down
This
there,
is the
right?
bicycle,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever it was.
What is it? Yeah.
And there's 4 people in the place. We're 3 of them, and the voice, the PA comes on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, now for your comedy entertainment from NBC's Real People, Skip Stevenson." And I absolutely died.
In a
I
shitty little
absolutely,
place in Gardena.
Mark,
Oh,
I wanted to cry. I felt, I felt so bad. And there, before the grace of God, is me. And I just was, I was devastated. It ruined my entire weekend. Anyway, Vegas.
You're opening in Gardena next
I'm
week.
going to Gardena.
You're on a podcast
then
with
you-
him.
I'm doing 2 nights at the Bicycle Club.
And then Simi Valley.
And
I
then
think
see
they
me
have
at
a
the
coffee
Sheridan.
shop.
At the Sheridan
You
coffee
have a coffee shop that I-
in the elevator of the
Yeah.
Sheridan.
There you-
Sorry, Vegas, go. Anybody have a Vegas?
You know what? I used to go in the 80s.
But my point was,
Yeah.
I'm in bed at 9 o'clock, so I
Yes.
can't enjoy anything.
Yes. See,
Right.
I'm still a late night guy. I
Right.
don't know why, but I I remember going to. In the 80s, it was great because it wasn't what they have now with families as much, and you could smoke cigars, you could gamble.
You can't smoke cigars in Vegas?
I hear they're cracking down on it. They have
Smoke
sections.
cigarettes?
No, I think they cracked down. They have no smoking sections. I haven't.
Oh,
been
no
there.
smoking sections.
But when I went, you could sit there with a cigar. The girls would come and sell cigars when you're gambling. But I would go to the blackjack tables, and I figured out something. It wasn't that I had so much money, but I figured if I went to the like $2, $5 tables, but I bet like $50
You're a big wheel.
or $25. I was a big guy, and so I'd be treated so much nicer than if I went to the high roller tables or the tables that would take $50 or $25. So I used to have a lot of fun. But the funny thing is, in the 80s, I had real long hair and just a mustache, and I wore a baseball cap, and I looked like Gallagher. If you ever want to look up an old picture of me and Gallagher, I looked where people would absolutely come up. There was about a 2-year window. They'd ask for autographs. They say, "Are you playing
sign
here?"
'em?
No. I'd go, "I'm not."
You should have.
No, I can't. I feel weird about it. But I used to say, no, I'm not Gallagher. I'm not. And they go, "Oh, yeah, okay, we get it." And I remember I was with a girlfriend, and she said, "They think you're Gallagher, everything." And I would literally walk through because he was playing there, and I'm telling you, I looked identical like him, which is not a big compliment. I'm not bragging about it. But, I had long hair, no hair on top. And so I remember I had a lot of fun in Vegas.
I did
And I
not.
liked the shows because you could see boobs. No, really, because I'm not a strip club guy. I don't go to strip clubs. But I remember going to the show, and it was a normal show, and then all of a sudden, 2 girls would come out, and you could see their boobies.
I remember going to the
I like
Bacchanal. Do you remember Caesar? They had the Bacchanal room, and a girl would come up and give you a massage.
No, I wasn't in that level.
The Bacchanal room was the restaurant.
Oh, I thought it was
They had the
special
girls with
room.
with the cones on their heads.
No.
They look like a cone, but they look like hair. You the Vegas guy, George?
The first time I went to Vegas, I was actually still in high school, and I went with a friend of mine. And the thing that struck me about it is I got in a cab, and the cab driver handed me a little menu, and it was a menu for the one of the brothels. It actually had like
Really?
a menu with prices on it, and he's like, I'll drive. I just wanted to go from the airport to my hotel, and he goes, "I'll drive you out and I'll wait for you." I go, "No way, man!"
Is that what you told your wife when she found it in your bag?
I wasn't married.
was in
back
high
then.
school.
I was in high school.
You don't listen to other people, do you?
I try not to.
Okay.
But that actually stuck with me. It made me laugh because I couldn't believe somebody printed this.
I was going to go, I was 21, 22, and somebody said you have to go, is it called the Chicken Ranch? Or no, the Mustang or something. It was a brothel. It was
Yeah.
And I was like 21, 22. I was with my friend, and we said, let's do it. We were drinking a little bit. So we
You
get
actually
into it.
went?
No, we
Oh.
got into a cab, and the cab driver says it was way far. It was like, I don't know, whatever, 40-minute drive. And they said it's going to cost this much money. The girls cost this much. It's all legal, of course. And then the drive back, and we literally had cash for counting. We didn't have credit cards in those days, or we didn't have one.
Did they take credit cards?
I don't think they did, but it's the 70s. But I remember we said we don't have enough money, to the cab there and back and the girl. So the car turned around. He dropped us off, and that was my only attempt to go to a.
Yeah, I
brothel.
just find it all so sad. I mean, I'll go. I got a friend of mine that lives there, and I'll go hang out with him. I'll play some golf. I just, I don't. I just find it seedy.
In the early days, everybody thinks they can beat blackjack or something. So you read the stories or the instructions on how to do that, and then you go try your luck. But everybody beats that. And if it's one deck or a couple of decks, but if you're playing 6 decks,
What's he talking about?
I have no idea.
I
It said some there's single deck.
Yeah.
They have some have 2 decks for blackjack.
Yeah.
People count. But I told you, if you ever go to Vegas with a whale, you know what a whale is?
How do you get it in the car?
Hey, I'll be here all night, folks. But anyway, so we go with this guy who's he's a high roller. They give him there's celebrity juice that you get in Vegas. Then there's this kind of juice that you get in Vegas, which is not even close.
And then there's George and I that gets
Right.
no juice.
Yes, right. So we go with this guy. We meet him there. They're from the East Coast. Great family and very, very successful guy. Anyway, we go and his blackjack is his game. And he's such a good blackjack player, they limit him. He'll go $1 million up or down on any weekend. Yeah.
Really?
What do they limit him to?
He can only play, the max bet is $35,000.
But he can play every hand.
But he can play every hand.
Wow.
So
They really cut him
yeah,
that low.
yep. So what happened, because it kills him.
I mean, he would go.
Some days he kills. Yeah. So he says, "Come on, let's go play blackjack," and I go, "I'm not gonna. He's not coming to sit and watch." So I go down there with him. So there's the private room, and they all know him, right? And it's great the way they treat him, and you can see as he walks in the room, there's all security guys. The security guys kind of shift a little bit to keep their eye on him, and he bets $35,000 3 times, and I'm telling you, it's like it doesn't faze him.
Wow.
He wins, he loses. Wins, he
Does
loses.
he want a new friend?
Does he? And then he goes to they send him to the shops. The whole like a movie, like an absolute
the
movie.
Cliche.
Yeah, and it was funny. And I'm betting 20, right?
You went that high?
Yeah, because
Scott,
if
that's
I'm
a
sitting
huge
there, I got to play.
Yeah.
Although I don't have to play
You don't
because I'm
want to
with.
look like a fool, so you
So
put a $20.
put a $20 bill down.
And you go,
yeah.
what do I do? What do
Yeah,
I do?
right.
No, you end up hitting on 19.
Right.
Screw his hand up.
Right. So anyway, he up and down, and then. But when I realized how much juice this guy had, Renee plays Hold'em, but she doesn't play for big money. But we go, and we go to the poker room, and it's packed. So there's a podium with a person that's like the hostess, I guess, and. Can I help you? And yeah, we'd like to play some poker. All the tables are full. He pulls out a card and gives it to her. She looks at it. She goes, "Oh, hold on." Gets on the phone.
I know what they did.
In a minute, two guys came down.
Yeah,
Mr. So-and-so, what do you need? Oh, we'd like to play some poker. Okay. They got a table, set it up, and we played poker.
Wow.
and bring out a deal.
Well, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh,
It was great.
I'd
And
love
the
to
guy
see that.
and he's one of those guys, the family. They're one of those people. Those people that just they're so generous with what, when you go with them. They don't let you do anything, and I keep wanting to pay because I feel guilty. He says, "Stop, don't worry about it. Stop." And
They probably comp everything.
I didn't think of that. He should have taken them. But my wife won $1,500 last time we were there. I think.
Do you ever go?
Did you take the money? That your wife
From my wife?
Yeah.
What are you crazy?
She takes his money.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Do you did you ever go and do it as like a family, rather? Because I've never gone and done the family thing with like your kids and do instead of the.
well, that's because they didn't want to go with you.
Well,
You
it,
tried.
Well, what do you? I don't even know what you. I've been there with my wife and kid when she was a baby. We just go. We like to stay at the Green Valley.
but you go like to
I'm
the
Holiday Inn myself, but
the Coca-Cola Museum or something.
Oh, we
like
did that.
Oh, you did. All right. I'm just saying the stuff geared
And the
toward
M&M,
kids. Yeah.
Coca-Cola and
Yeah.
M&M. We went with another family. That was actually fun. Did you went to the Coca-Cola?
I did. Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah. It was to see the different flavors from around the world was very unusual.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Coke is not Coke all around the world.
I didn't know that.
It's
actually.
not Coke. It's not what we drink. Like in Australia, it's I don't know what's
different
it. It's
formula.
clear.
Oh,
It's sometimes it's yellow like urine, but whatever whatever the
culture.
whatever the
likes.
culture, whatever the fruit is that they like.
Like in India, it probably has turmeric.
Maybe,
that
but
an
it was,
Indian-
but
no,
it was, it was. Some of it was really bad,
Yeah.
and they must think our Coke is really bad. But anyway, so I don't like Vegas, and I don't like to
it.
go. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's our take on Vegas. And if you have any thoughts, tell them to somebody else.
Yeah. Or if you can get me a deal on a Holiday
Mark, the
Inn.
show's over when I
Let-
stop
let
talking.
me-
When I end
Oh,
it, it's over.
completely done. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
See up my nose with the